here, your thrifty apprentice. Happy Wednesday and welcome back to another water soluble Wednesday video. Family, I am so excited about this video because two things that I love doing. I'm doing one, I'm going to be testing and using the Shinhan PWC extra fine artist watercolors, Shinhan's professional line, for the first time. I'm going to be swatching them on camera with you. As you can see, we unboxed them and panned them in the previous video. They have had a couple of days to get some drying done. There is absolutely no cracking. The texture looks really beautiful. They look semi-moist, so I'm really excited. I'm about painting with these and seeing exactly what's what. I am going to be swatching them on camera with you guys. This is my painter's color diary. This is actually the last page. I picked that particular one up from Jerry's Autorama, but I do know that they are available on Amazon. I'll try to find links for all the stuff that you guys see me use. I'm going to be doing a painting demo with the Shinhan, but that brings me to the second reason I'm really excited, because this is actually a challenge video. Dina Tolfson, who I have done a challenge video with before. If you guys remember the favorite fish challenge that I did back during the time I was doing Inktober, it was like a beta fish that I painted, and it was for day 3 or 4. I think the prompt was dodge, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought about how evasive and how dodgy a beta fish was, and it fit in perfectly with that favorite fish or fine fish. I think it was the favorite fish art challenge. The video is on my channel. I'll be sure to link it. So she has another challenge going on at the moment, which is the Valentine Day challenge. And I decided I was going to participate in this one as well because I had so much fun doing the last one. And I'm going to get the paint with the Shinhan. Love that, love that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into swatching. I'm going to go ahead and get my chocolate covered strawberries, which is the composition that I'm painting for the Valentine challenge, transferred over into the sketchbook I'm going to be painting in, which is this accordion style sketchbook that I created. If you guys remember, that holiday cupcake was done, and it's just an accordion book I made. So the only thing I've decided to paint in here is going to be like foods, desserts, anything from the culinary world. That way I can continue to practice on that. So let me stop babbing and gabbing and jump into it. So we're going to swatch, and then we're going to paint some chocolate covered strawberries for Miss Dina's challenge. So as we jump into this composition, the first thing to note is that I did change my mind. I decided not to do chocolate covered strawberries, but instead to do 3 macaron cookies. And yes, macaron cookies, not macaroons. There is a dramatic difference. Now, there will be a full-time, real-time version of this time-lapse painting over on Patreon if you're a Patreon member. I did let you guys know that I was going to start including full-time demos / tutorials this year, and this one is the first one, and it is available if you want to go check it out. My Patreon memberships are really super affordable, and I try to make sure that you get more content than it's worth. Definitely. So go check it out if you would like to. Link is in the video description. In this, I'm using the PWC. Watercolors are honestly impressing me up until this point. Of course, this is not a review. I've only gone through swatching and some color mixing and painting this first demo. But I must say, up to this point, I am not disappointed with what I have discovered. I'm going to do much more investigating into this line of paints before we get to the review, just to make sure that I could give you a thorough, in-depth review, and that I've tested and done all the research on the actual paints and the pigments to offer. Now, jumping into what we're doing actually on the screen, I've used 3 different colors, PV19, PV3, and a PG8. And the reason I'm giving pigment numbers versus the colors I use is just in case you do not have the Shinhan PWC, you can use the pigment numbers to match the paints and then possibly get a similar composition. The PV19 is what I use to cover my 2 rosy macarons, and then the PV3, I said PG19, PV19, and PV3, and PG8. And PG8 was the green that I used in order to make my darks, add my shadows, and to deepen any colors that I needed to, especially when it came to the red. We all know that the red and greens are opposites and that they'll neutralize each other. For the darkest shadows on the actual macarons, I simply just used the PV19 on top of PV19 in a more mass tone. Same thing with the PV3. I used it watered down for the first layer, then used it in mass tone to make the shadows. And that is a really easy way, really easy way to limit the colors that you use in the composition and to make sure that you keep harmony throughout it. So I'm just kind of going through with a detailed brush here in order to add body and roundness and shape to the macarons. I was really loving the way that this was coming out. I was really just enjoying using the paints, if the truth be told. That's what it all boils down to. Now, I said earlier that there's a huge difference between macarons and macaroons. Let me just explain really quickly. A macaron is a sandwich-like cookie that has like a buttercream or a ganache or a jelly filling, whereas a macaroon is a coconut drop cookie. So that is the difference, just in case you guys have ever wondered. I'm just kind of babbling on. Go check out the Patreon video if you're interested. Hopefully you'll give this a try, whatever paints and tools you have in your studio. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. If you like, saw, heard anything, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Please share, because sharing is caring. I ask you guys to comment because I really like your feedback. Like to know if you've used the products, what do you think of them? You can hit up the video description for all of the relevant links. And remember, as I tell you at the end of every single video, just keep painting and crafting.